My name's Jake. I'm 27 years old. I work at a small factory. I'm not the owner, but as the factory manager. I've been tasked with sales duties, and it's been busy. But thinking about how everyone's using our products makes me happy. And just the other day, perhaps as a reward for my efforts, I was invited to a party by a client, Company A. They regularly invite their clients, and it was our first time. I was really looking forward to it. But that anticipation was completely shattered. Upon arriving at the venue, Company A, I was guided to the party room. There were even chandeliers, which was quite intimidating. Still, I managed to enjoy myself, sipping on champagne. However, someone approached me and completely ruined the mood.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. My name is Jake. I work in sales at Company X. I took a business card out of my breast pocket and handed it over. The man briefly checked the card and then looked at me.
Oh, I see. From Company X, huh?
Yes, thank you so much for inviting me to such a wonderful party.
I am Mr. Morris, the head of the sales department at Company A. Does Company X have someone like you in sales?
Excuse me. The moment Mr. Morris saw my business card, his demeanor changed drastically.
Well, how do I put it? It's kind of shabby. And this business card.
What are you doing? Mr. Morris tore up the business card I had given him.
Receiving such a business card is pointless. It doesn't even make clear what your company does. It's a mystery why you're even here. Who invited you?
Who? It was the person in charge of your company. He told me to come because there was a party.
Oh, is that so? Well, then, could you please leave now? Honestly, the atmosphere is just bad with you around.
What do you mean?
I was trying to be polite, but you just don't get it. I'm saying, please leave.
That's too harsh. I thought to myself how cruel this person was for saying such things after inviting me to the party.
Annoying. Low-dollar companies should just leave. You're ruining the vibe.
But we have a business relationship with your company.
Then that's enough. Business is canceled. We don't need you anyway. In fact, it lowers our quality, so please, just leave.
If you're going to say that, fine, I'll leave. You won't regret this. I was utterly infuriated by the department head's remarks. In my heart, I wanted to retort that it's our factory's products that make Company A what it is.
As if, who do you think you are?
Just then, the president of Company A, Mr. Scott, approached. Before Mr. Scott could raise his hand to greet, I bowed my head.
Hello. What seems to be the problem here between the two of you?
I'm sorry, Mr. Scott. Please consider our deal canceled. Just when I was enjoying the champagne and having a good time, I couldn't stand being treated this way.
Is that so?
Hey, do you even realize who this gentleman is?
Well now, Mr. Morris, you must be Jake from Company X. I've heard about you. I never thought you were the type to joke like this.
I'm not joking. Your department head, Mr. Morris, suddenly said the deal is off.
What? No way, Mr. Morris would never say something like that.
The moment he saw my business card, he changed his tone, calling it shabby and us a bottom-tier company. That's incredibly rude. Anyway, I'll be leaving now. I'll bring the paperwork over later.
Wait a second, Jake. If it's a joke, then please reveal it before you leave. Otherwise, it really might mean the deal is off.
It's not a joke. That's exactly what I intend. After all, we're just an unknown company that no one knows what we do.
Mr. Scott, if he says he's leaving, then let him leave. I honestly don't even know Company X.
That's why I'm leaving. Oh, but I did enjoy the party, thanks to Mr. Morris. I won't be coming again, though. Your company is high class and wonderful, so you really should invest more in training your subordinates. My words about never coming again were just a mutter, not meant to be heard. I might have spoken sarcastically and a bit harshly, but oh well.
Oh, you enjoyed it then. So it was all just a joke. Jake, you really know how to give someone a scare. We're counting on a good relationship moving forward.
Well, I'll think about it. It's good to see you in better spirits, Mr. Scott. This president is optimistic, for better or worse. I thought it might be okay if it meant avoiding trouble. Seeing Mr. Scott's face color return to normal, I made my exit from the party. I returned to my company that day and explained the situation to our president, Mr. Jones.
So that happened. No wonder you're not drunk.
I couldn't drink at all. So what do? I went ahead and cut off the deal.
It's fine. No problem. It's not like we were eager for this deal anyway. I might as well send the fax to halt the transactions. They don't realize they can't do business without products like ours. I can't forgive them for denigrating our company and products. The initial response is crucial in situations like this. I won't blame you for deciding to stop the transactions.
Are you sure?
What do you mean? Are you sure? You were the one handling this deal. You didn't say it out of anger, did you?
Of course not. It was just not profitable for us, so we cut it off.
Then there's no problem. Leave the rest to me. I'll do what a president should do.
Mr. Jones raised his hand in a manly gesture. At times like this, I'm glad to work under him. He values and honestly treats those who do their work right. And then Mr. Jones actually sent the fax. He said he would bring the formal documents later, but the next day around noon, someone came looking for me unexpectedly. Wondering who it could be without an appointment, I went to the meeting room, and there was Mr. Morris, who had told me to leave. What do you want? Our dealings with your company are supposed to be over.
Hey, don't get all high and mighty. You don't have the final say on this deal, do you? Cutting off the deal without even hearing our side. What's with that ridiculous fax?
It's the result of a discussion with our president. I told you yesterday we're stopping the transactions, didn't I?
Don't mess with me. Do you know what I went through this morning?
Well, I wouldn't know. But have you forgotten what you did to me, looking down on our company, belittling our products, and now you think we can continue doing business as usual?
Shut up. I don't care. Without us, you wouldn't be able to sell your products. Who do you think allows your bottom-tier company to keep going every day? Anyway, Company A won't accept such ludicrous documents. Rather, we'll demand damages from you.
What? Why should we pay damages? There's no fault on our side, right? What's the reason for demanding damages? I was so flabbergasted that I let out a strange sound. I couldn't comprehend what Mr. Morris was saying, and my mouth was agape.
For crying out loud, you low ranks should just quietly follow the lead of the big shots. Be grateful you could deal with us despite your shabby office and factory. It was your first major contract, wasn't it? Throwing that away is insane.
Well, not really.
Don't talk back. Anyway, our company will demand damages. I've even consulted with our lawyer and prepared the documents for damages.
It's like talking to a wall. I was dismayed that a dialogue was impossible.
Don't think you can run away without paying.
Saying that, Mr. Morris pulled out the documents. Indeed, there was a lawyer's signature and seal on it. The amount was shocking. Why is it double the contract amount? That's totally unreasonable.
Shut up, as if you have a choice. We're in trouble because you unilaterally stopped the deal. Or what? Do you want to beg on your knees? If you do, I'll talk to everyone and see what I can do, saying out of pity, let's drop the damages demand. I have that much influence. So, what'll it be? It's up to you now.
There's no due date written here. Is this really prepared by a lawyer? I didn't think what I did was wrong, and I was absolutely certain Mr. Morris was at fault. Deep down, I wondered if our country's justice system was rotten if our company ended up being punished for this.
What? You're doubting now. You think you have the right to question. You still don't understand your place. A small fry company like yours can be crushed anytime. And you? Why were you wearing that worn-out suit you always wear to the party? I was wearing a custom suit, you know. That's just common courtesy when meeting people outside the company.
Listening silently, Mr. Morris started ranting as he pleased.
It's your lack of respect for social etiquette that's infuriating. You lack the awareness that you're dealing with Company A. You don't have the determination to continue a relationship with Company A. Do you think we'll continue dealing with someone like you? Rather, we're the ones who'd rather not deal with you. But this was all you're doing.
I thought to myself, wasn't it you who said to end the transaction first?
So, you'll be taking responsibility for that. That's why I consulted our legal advisor. Now, what will you do?
I'm sorry, I can't respond immediately. I'll keep these documents for now. I was about to lose myself in anger towards Mr. Morris, but I managed to suppress the urge to lash out. Acting without thinking would not only trouble me, but also everyone at Company X. Phew. I took a deep breath. No good, no good. I need to calm down first. I'll consult with our president, so could you please leave for today?
Yeah, tell your president. Companies like yours can't survive without Company A support.
Duh. I was dumbfounded upon hearing that. The exit is that way. Ignoring Mr. Morris' words with a disdainful look, he seemed to run out of patience finally. Snorting, he left. I took the documents to Mr. Jones. Showing them, Mr. Jones furrowed his brows. What do? We can't pay this amount all at once, can we? Moreover, does this document even have legitimate legal standing?
To think they'd go this far. Don't worry, it'll be okay. There's no way this department head's whims will get anywhere. From here on, it's my job as president. You don't need to worry.
Saying that, the president took out his cell phone and started calling Mr. Scott.
Sorry to bother you, but could you come over right away? No, I just want to talk. I understand you're busy, but you'd be troubled too if our transaction fell through, right? After all, we only sent a one-sided fax. I was hoping to have a little chat with you, Mr. Scott.
After a bit more conversation, he hung up.
He'll be coming over shortly.
True to his word, Mr. Scott arrived in about 20 minutes. He seemed almost pitiable, out of breath, as if he had run from a parking lot.
I'm so sorry for this time. Our department head, Mr. Morris, should have been here.
Oh, about that. He went back home after throwing a fit.
What? Why would he do that? I explicitly told him to apologize sincerely. Was it you, Mr. Jones, he spoke to?
No, it was our Jake. But, we could hear shouting from the meeting room. He was ranting about how it's all our fault, that Company A did nothing wrong. The content and tone of Mr. Morris' speech were so appalling that we made sure to record the conversation. Would you like to listen to it, Mr. Scott?
Maybe I should listen.
I understand you want to protect your company, but we can't take all the blame.
You're right. After receiving your fax, our company was in turmoil.
That's to be expected. It'd be a big problem if you couldn't do business with us.
Mr. Jones then played the recording of the conversation between me and Mr. Morris for Mr. Scott.
Who do you think allows your bottom-tier company to keep going every day? Anyway, Company A won't accept such ludicrous documents. Rather, we'll demand damages from you. I've even consulted with our lawyer and prepared the documents for damages. You still don't understand your place. A small fry company like yours can be crushed anytime. It's your lack of respect for social etiquette that's infuriating. You lack the awareness that you're dealing with Company A. You don't have the determination to continue a relationship with Company A. Do you think we'll continue dealing with someone like you? Tell your president, companies like yours can't survive without Company A support. So, that's how Mr. Morris is.
Mr. Jones stopped the recorder with a look of dismay.
What has he done?
Mr. Scott began to panic, his face turning pale. It seemed he had trusted Mr. Morris completely until he heard the recording and realized the gravity of the situation.
Anyway, I'll be demoting Mr. Morris. We can't have someone who yells at people in charge. I should have paid more attention to what's happening inside the company.
That might not be enough, but please do.
You're right. Because of him, our company was thrown into chaos. I got the report from the director after seeing your fax. When I heard about this from Jake yesterday, I was embarrassed to think it was all a joke. We're all over the place contacting our suppliers about delays.
Well, that's understandable. If you can get screws from us, you can make your products, right? It must have been quite the trouble.
Yeah, absolutely.
The moment Mr. Scott clenched his fist in frustration, the door to the meeting room swung open and Mr. Morris appeared.
Why is Mr. Scott here? I've got a call from the director. He said you were heading to Company X and told me to go immediately. I was just about to arrive at the company.
Why are you acting like this? It's clear we're the ones who should be apologizing.
Mr. Scott yelled at the department head. Unfortunately, Mr. Scott had already listened to the evidence audio of Mr. Morris demanding damages from me. Mr. Morris' nonsense was now clear to Mr. Scott as well.
Why don't you, Mr. Morris, understand the importance of Company X? We can't do our jobs without Company X. Go on, apologize right now.
Mr. Scott grabbed Mr. Morris by the arm and made him kneel.
What? Why do I have to kneel?
Quiet, don't talk back. Mr. Jones, we apologize once again.
Both of them deeply bowed their heads to the ground. Though, it should be said, Mr. Morris was forced into it against his will. Mr. Jones approached and lightly tapped Mr. Morris on the head.
If you don't want to apologize, then so be it. Because you did nothing wrong, right?
Enraged by those words, Mr. Morris shook off Mr. Jones' hand.
Don't mess with me. Don't you dare touch me so casually. I've had enough. Not just Company A, but you're insulting me too. I'll make you pay damages for defamation.
Hearing this, Mr. Scott looked up abruptly. With a bewildered expression, He stared at Mr. Morris.
Hey, what's this about damages for defamation?
Well, that's,
Hey, Mr. Morris, what's that about? Why on earth do we need to demand damages? It's our fault, isn't it? Why are you demanding damages?
wait, please, Mr. Scott. These guys cut us off despite being a tiny company. You think that's okay? I can't accept it.
It's not about that. Why don't you understand the importance of Company X?
How would I know? Such a dirty company. They're smaller than us in both scale and sales. Why do we have to bow down to them?
Listen up. Our new product, it needs screws from Company X.
What?
It's not some trivial part, but it's a crucial part that needs screws from Company X. What happens if we can get those screws? We can create the new product. That means we can't deliver. In other words, our sales would hit zero. Do you understand what that means? Not just the loss of the new product's delivery spots. Our existing products are in jeopardy too. Imagine the rumors about Company A not being able to meet deadlines. That would lead to Company A's bankruptcy. Why can't you understand that?
How am I supposed to know if you don't tell me?
Of course, I've explained it. That's why Jake was at that party. First off, what's with demanding damages?
Odd about that, Mr. Morris gave me the bill. Jake received it. It has a lawyer's seal, so it must be legit. Here, take a look.
Saying this, Mr. Jones pulled out the invoice.
Stop, please.
Hey, which lawyer did you commission for this?
He said he asked your legal advisor. We don't know the lawyer's name, though.
Hey, Mr. Morris, I'm asking you, answer me.
A different lawyer. You know, I realized something. This isn't Trayall, is it? What? No way. It's a real law firm. On what basis are you saying such arbitrary things? I'll really add defamation to the charges. But see, do real documents like this have sample written in red?
Mr. Jones took the document from Mr. Scott and shone his cell phone's light from behind.
Hey, look carefully. You can faintly see sample there.
I can see it.
Don't spout nonsense. I made sure to lighten the color to erase it. Oh dear.
In his panic, Mr. Morris let slip the truth.
What?
Hey, Mr. Morris, tell the truth. Don't pile on more lies.
I can say.
Why can you say? If you've done nothing wrong, there shouldn't be any problem.
Hey, Mr. Morris, wouldn't it be better to tell the truth? If you're going to accuse us of breach of contract for stopping transactions or defamation, wouldn't it be smarter to just tell the truth? Lying further will only make things worse for yourself. I might not know the ins and outs, but as a business owner, I know there are things you just shouldn't do. Shut up. I don't have to explain myself to you. You should be worried about your own company. My actions have nothing to do with you. But don't you know? Know what? There's no way you know something I don't. Stop trying to confuse me with your nonsense.
What do you mean? Is there something else you're hiding?
No, it's not like that. Isn't this kind of thing against the law?
What do you mean by this kind of thing?
Using someone else's seal or name without permission. That's not allowed, right? What's it called again?
Is this a crime of forgery and misuse of private seals?
Oh, Jake, you know your stuff.
Well, I wasn't sure, so I looked it up. What Mr. Morris is doing is indeed a crime.
Don't try to confuse me with your baseless claims. You people always lie, so that's probably a lie too. I can't be deceived. There's no way I, working for Company A, would do something wrong. Right, Mr. Scott? You've known me longer than these newcomers. No, not really. Company X and I have a pretty long history. We've been involved since before Company A's current president took over. We've been helped by the company since his predecessor's time. Jake understands that. We continued our relationship with Company A regardless of profit. It was your attitude that was the final straw. That's why we chose to cut ties with Company A. So, I'm to blame. Well, no one's going to outright say who's at fault. Not like you, anyway. But using someone's name without permission is a clear legal violation. I could take this to your company's legal advisor if I want. Or I could report it to the police. You used an online template, didn't you? For the short amount of time, it was well done. You worked hard to frame us. Don't look down on me. I'm a talented man. Our company would be in trouble without me. It's not your place to choose what happens with our company.
Well, we can keep employing you after this. You've done enough. You're prepared for the consequences, right? I'm a man of action.
What? Why would you say something like abandoning me? I've contributed a lot to Company A, and you're cutting me off just like that. Whether this problem is just like that isn't for you to decide. All decisions lie with Mr. Scott. You're on the receiving end of judgment. It can't be undone, just like the sample text.
Mr. Jones said this and played the recording again. He seemed intent on pushing the issue. Mr. Scott listened with a gloomy expression.
Mr. Scott,
Mr. Morris looked anxiously at Mr. Scott.
What do you think of this recording? It's solid evidence, right? Damn it, this nonsense.
Mr. Morris twisted his face in frustration.
Now you see how much Mr. Morris looked down on our company. So, we plan to take action. If Company A decides to protect him, I'm not the type to let someone who tried to tarnish my company off easily.
No, we won't protect him anymore. We'll properly punish him as a managerial employee. We can't overlook this.
How is it fair? Why is Jake okay? He unilaterally stopped transactions with us. That decision was mine to give. Unlike a mere manager like you, we entrust Jake with various responsibilities because of our company's size. He has a different standing than you. What a mess.
Anyway, we'll take our leave now. We'll contact you about the rest.
Mr. Scott bowed slightly and dragged Mr. Morris, looking bewildered, out of the company. Case closed, huh? Mr. Scott, taking the documents Mr. Morris had given me, consulted their legal advisor, offset the damages with the severance package, and treated Mr. Morris as voluntarily resigned. They didn't want to make a big deal out of it, but it's going to be hard for someone of his age to find another job. I'm still making high-quality screws.